Hi, my name is Tanza, and today I'm going to be recording an opening statement video for my psychology and legal issues class about whether or not the death penalty should be abolished. And in this video specifically, I will be debating that the death penalty does constitute cruel and unusual punishment, and it should be abolished. The death penalty has been a part of human history for centuries, and it's often viewed as a necessary tool for justice and deterrence. And while it's intended to serve as a deterrent and deliver justice to victims, the irreversible act of capital punishment leaves no room for error in our criminal justice system. Today, more than ever, we need to question whether the death penalty is a fair, effective, and a humane form of punishment. And given the flaws in the justice system, the extreme cost, combined with the growing evidence of wrongful convictions, racial biases, and its failure to act as a deterrent, makes it clear that the death penalty is an outdated practice and it should be abolished. The first argument that I want to make is the overwhelming cost of sentencing a prisoner to death. Studies have estimated that the total trial cost of a death penalty case is about $1 million more than non-capital murder crimes. Incarceration costs are also higher for death row inmates because of the higher security protocols, which would be having more security guards on premises and housing each inmate in their own solitary cell. And the average cost to physically carry out an execution can cost anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 per inmate. Martin O'Malley, who was the former governor of Maryland, stated that in 1978, Maryland executed 56 prisoners and spent $22.4 million more than if they were just sentenced to life without parole. The money saved from sentencing prisoners to death could be used towards specialty courts and rehabilitation centers and programs and a number of different facilities and programs to help control crime rate better. My second argument is that the death penalty does not effectively slow down the rate of crime. In fact, the death penalty has not deterred crime any more than life without parole, nor has there been a spike in murder rates in states where the death penalty was abolished. And this suggests that factors such as social programs and specialty courts, the way that law enforcement interacts with the community, and even socioeconomic conditions have a far greater impact on crime prevention than the actual threat of execution. My final argument is that with the flaws in the justice system, the death penalty is not fair or just. Racial prejudice is seen throughout our criminal justice system, and whether it's explicit or implicit, it continues to influence key factors in capital punishment cases. In fact, 55% of the inmate population on death row are minorities and individuals of color. And furthermore, biases from the jury and coerced confessions and falsified evidence can further influence the chances of an innocent person being sentenced to death row. Since 1973, there have been more than 150 people on death row who were eventually found innocent and exonerated. Even if a person is eventually exonerated from death row, there's no amount of compensation that the government could offer to win back the years that they lost in jail. And once an innocent person is executed, there's no way to undo that kind of damage. The death penalty is an outdated and flawed system, and it fails to deliver true justice. From the wrongful convictions to the lack of deterrent effect, the practice is riddled and inherent with flaws that undermine its legitimacy. Its disproportionate impact on marginalized communities and racial biases embedded within the justice system just further emphasize the need for reform.